We'll dive into the headlines and start off by diving into what was a big headline a couple of days back with the suit against the IGP by 40 retired officers who are not really happy. They claim that the IGP is holding on to their promotions, and we thought it would be a good idea to find out what determines promotions in the Ghana police. And so we'll be connecting with a former retired police officer who is now a member of parliament. He represents Wa West, the Honorable Peter Lanchene Tobu, who was in the police service, is now a member of parliament, to give us some education about the police. Honorable Tobu, good morning. Welcome to GTV Breakfast. He's not on yet, but so we'll get through to him. I wish I could have Alan back on the screen, because we want to just, in case you're wondering, I mean, what are these ranks and the ranks that the police actually have that take you from the bottom to the very top. Remember, the IGP came in and to the parliament and was speaking about how he started as constable and is now IGP. If you're wondering what the ranks in the police are, well, Alan is here to show you exactly what those ranks are. So let's go.
Okay, so Kaf, thank you very much once again. If you have to join the police today as a recruit, you are going to start from on the screen you see all the way at the bottom. You must first come in as a constable. That's where you start from. So everybody who gets taken into or accepted into the police, goes through the training, will likely start from this rank, a constable. And then due to their own internal working, you have to be there. Yeah. You have to be there, and then you move over to a lance corporal, as some will call it, lines or lance corporal. That's what it is. And then you move up to corporal, and then from corporal you come to a sergeant. From sergeant you move up to inspector of police, or inspector for short. And then you come to chief inspector of police, or chief inspector. And then you move up to Assistant Superintendent of Police, ASP, after which you are more than likely to move up to Deputy Superintendent of Police, and then Superintendent of Police, from where you move up to Chief Superintendent of Police, and then Assistant Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Commissioner of Police, Deputy Inspector General of Police, and then your last rank. In fact, some say the last rank is commissioner, but these two are your take home. Go away, don't come back.
All right.
And that's where you end, Inspector General of Police.
Thank you for running it for us from constable all the way to IGP.
Yep.
On the line now we have Peter Lanchene Tobu, the honorable member for Wa West, a Ghanaian retired police officer, to give us some education on how police officers are promoted in the service. Honorable Tobu, good morning. Welcome to the show.
My brother Kafu, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Just out of curiosity, where were you before you left the police? Which of the ranks?
I was at a level of superintendent.
Okay. Congratulations. You're doing a good job in Parliament. We see your work. We see you speaking and defending and doing all kinds of things you're supposed to do. But let's now talk about the promotions. How exactly are promotions done in the police?
Thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our cherished listeners and viewers. Good morning to everybody wearing the black uniform, from GP1 to the last constable in Ghana. And I say good morning to everybody in uniform, particularly within the security sector. I think that we are talking this morning, you are in the studio, because some people have done a good job for you to wake up in the morning and find the security environment good enough for you to drive to the office and do the work that you are doing for Ghana. So for the best that they are doing, we need to applaud them.
Yes.
And there are issues that we need to contribute to make all these services better. We shouldn't hesitate to do that. Police promotions. You know, the police is a whole society. The police is a structured organization. There is a pyramid within the police that defines what it is. And that pyramid tells you that the higher you go, the tougher it becomes, because the spaces are getting tighter as you go up the pyramid. Police promotions are done at two levels. One, you can either join the police from constable and you rise up to the top, or you join the police with a degree, direct entrance to the college. They give you a chief inspector, you go to the college as a cadet officer. When you come out as an ASP or DSP, if you are a professional like medical doctors or lawyers, then you also rise up to the top. But police promotions, how are they promoted? Three good conditions. One, you are promoted if you go and write promotion exams. Number two, you are promoted due to long service and good conduct. We call it clean record. The fact that you spend 10 years in your rank means nothing. You can actually spend the required minimum of 4 years and be promoted. But you can also spend 7 years in your rank and you will not be promoted. There are reasons for that. You can also be promoted based on special recommendation. So three bodies are in charge of this. One is the Inspector General of Police. I remember in the days of old, IGP Peter Acheampong. Anytime he moves out into the field, he moves his office into the field. He can actually come to Wichao on a tour, and right in Wichao, he can observe some very professional conduct of an officer, from constable to sergeant or whatever, and he can just sit in his car, give a note to his secretary. They will type a signal right in the car. He will sign it with his green pen. You are therefore promoted. Very practical on the ground.
Is that a special recommendation?
That is special recommendation.
Okay.
Special recommendation from the IGP. You can also be promoted by the police council on the recommendation of the Police Appointment and Promotions Board. So all these things that are happening, you realize that it depends on what we call vacancy. If the vacancy is not available, you can actually be qualified wearing the same rank for years. And if you permit me, let me share my personal experience. I wore the sergeant rank for 9 years. Why? Nothing. I worked with unblemished record as a sergeant for 9 years. And how did I even get a sergeant? I joined the police service as a constable with O-level, GC O-level certificate. That was what was required at the time. Even at the time I had my A-level certificate, but I couldn't present it. It was in my bag. And when I joined the police, they told us, if you join the police after 3 years after probation, you are qualified for steady leave. That was what motivated me to join the police. When I was qualified for steady leave, I put in an application, and that very year, they varied the rules. They said you have to spend 6 years after probation, basically 8 years in the service. But that was not the condition under which I was enlisted. I would have gone to court at the time. But even if you go to court and you win, and they say, yes, you are qualified for steady leave. Oh, yes, 2,000 people have applied to go to school, and the administration can only accommodate maybe 150. So you can actually apply 2 or 3 times and you will never make it. And finally, you will make it. So how are they promoted? Just the 3 things I mentioned to you. And who are in charge of these things? Police Council, the Inspector General of Police. And you appreciate the fact that all of them depend on what we call the existence of the required vacancy. And people should be mindful of the fact that this pyramid, as we are looking at, the pyramid is broad at the base. And at the top, it narrows to the point that it is only one slot. That is the Inspector General of Police.
Honorable.
And as I'm talking to you, if I may just conclude on this preliminary submission.
Yes.
We have 18 police commissioners as we speak.
Right.
18 police commissioners with one slot at the top. That is for the Inspector General of Police. So in the future, should Dr. George Dampare leave the scene, all these 18 police commissioners will be hoping to move to the top. And it's impossible for all the 18 of them to become IGP. So one of them will go. And the 17 of them will be there. What it means is that another vacancy for a police commissioner will have been created at the top.
Exactly.
And the deputy commissioner will have to move up.
I do see that there's a Deputy Inspector General of Police position. Is it filled in Ghana?
It is part of what is in the law. And I think that the last time we had a Deputy Inspector General of Police was Mr. James Opombuanu, who became IGP, and surprisingly, under his own tenure, this is a Deputy Inspector General of Police who graduated to become an IGP. And under his tenure, there was no deputy. And since then, it has remained vacant.
Who gets to go to the police college?
Great. When you join the police service and you rise to the level of an inspector or chief inspector, there is a promotion exam written for you to have access to the police college. If you pass, you go. It should be a duty that if you are a chief inspector and you are invited to come and write the promotion exams to get to the police college, you must come. And people have written that exam more than 5, 6 times and they have failed. A lot of them who are station officers, a chief inspector is a station officer, And when you are a station officer and you come to write the exam to go to the police college to become a senior police officer, ASP for that matter, to start with, and you fail, you go back to your station and continue to be your station officer.
As a chief inspector?
It goes to the state, many of them felt that being a station officer and retiring was far better than jumping to become the least in the senior officer rank and assistant superintendent of police.
Right.
Somebody has probably 3 more years to retire, and you want him to come and go to the police college to become an ASP and go and start very fresh as the constable in the officer rank. The person is not interested. It got to the stage, we said it wasn't compulsory. If they say come and write with the college and you don't want to come and write, nobody should force you.
Okay, so let me...
That is one angle.
Okay.
That's one. And the second angle is that there is direct entrance. You have, I mean, it's a government policy for institutions of state to recruit graduates. So they recruit graduates, give you direct entrance, and that is you come, they are giving you a chief inspector to start with, and then you will have to go to the college. Okay. It used to be direct, but today, in line with CR 76, that is Ghana Police Service Regulation 2012, if you go to Regulation 37 plus 7, it says that your academic certificate alone is not enough for you to gain promotion. So when you come and you are given even the limit of chief inspector, everybody will have to go and write the exam to get into the college. Okay. If you are lucky and it's not the exam and you are given a special recommendation, you can also go to the college. And these are the grounds on which somebody can get to the police college and become a cadet officer.
Okay. Quick question. What is the highest level of... Where does a senior officer rank begin in the police?
Thank you very much. The senior officer rank begins from the level of assistant superintendent of police.
So that if I were a chief inspector and I went and wrote the exams in the police college and I passed, then my next rank would be assistant superintendent of police. Is that correct?
Yes. If you pass and you get to the college as a cadet officer, when you graduate, you are commissioned. And that's where the president starts. The president commissions people. The IGP can promote you up to the level of chief inspector. Okay. The IGP has no power again to promote you beyond that. The IGP can only recommend you to the police academy or the police college. And when you come out, the president commissions you into the senior police officer's corps, and you become an assistant superintendent of police. In other words, some people become deputy superintendent of police by virtue of their qualification. Okay. When we recruit lawyers and the medical doctor professionals, yes, they come out as, they go to the college as officer cadet, not cadet officers. There's a difference between cadet officer and officer cadet.
What's the difference?
And you find an officer cadet actually wearing an officer uniform. In the training school, they are wearing the uniform of ASP, while all other cadet officers are wearing cadet uniform with 1 star. Okay. The professionals wear with 2 stars, that is ASP. And when you come out, you are given a DSP to start. That's a professional. Is that the normal cadet? You come out and you are given an assistant superintendent of police.
What about those who join the police without the degrees and they've been there for a long service? How do they get into the police college?
Thank you very much. When you join the police service, like I did many years ago with my O-level, you are expected to serve for 18 months and you be confirmed as a constable. That is the probation period. Within the probation period, if you misconduct yourself, you are expelled. After the probation period, you are confirmed as a constable. You need to work for a minimum of 4 years. And you are promoted to lance corporal. After 4 years again, you are promoted to corporal. Every 4 years, you get promotion. Okay. Based on performance and the clean record. If you misconduct yourself, your mate can actually get the level of chief inspector, and you probably will be around corporal or sergeant, depending on how you perform. And when you get to the level of chief inspector, you are qualified to write to the police college or police academy. So when you go for the exam, I mean, in those days, it was just the best that are taken. It's not an exam that you pass. It's an exam that you qualify. So you can actually write the exam and get 75%, and yet you will not go to the college because people who are getting 90 and 80 are so many, and probably if they needed just 100 people at a time, they take the top 100, and the rest of you go and try the next time. So you can actually write that exam and get so frustrated, and you retire with your chief inspector. That is the line. If you don't want to retire with the chief inspector, you can also find another way at a time. You find a way to go back to school, do a degree, and come back, and you are promoted based on your academic qualification. Today, CR 76 says that is not an avenue, because with your degree, you will not be promoted just by your degree. And the law has not been very clear. What are the additional requirements for me to get, in addition to the degree, for me to deserve that promotion. It's not clear. It's a gray area. I think that at the structure committee, I asked the IGP that question.
Okay.
It's a gray area in the law. What will you do so that people can enjoy the free flow? I mean, academic promotions are good. So are long service promotions. We need to blend the two to get the best at the top.
Is it correct to say that for the lower ranks, up until, let's say, Chief Inspector of Police, it is decided by the IGP based on the board's recommendation? Is that correct?
Come again?
So, what hold does the IGP have over promotions? What is his influence? Where does his limit as far as promotions are concerned?
The IGP limit is at the Chief Inspector level, from Constable to Chief Inspector.
Okay.
The IGP chairs the Police Promotion Board. And the IGP and the Police Promotion Board, for that matter, can promote you to the level of Chief Inspector.
Right.
And the board can actually recommend you to the college as a cadet officer.
Okay.
And that is the end. So if when you become ASP, the IGP cannot promote you.
So is it correct to say that for senior officers, the promotion is decided by the Police Council based on the board's recommendation?
Very correct. At the Police Council level, the board recommends, and the council, with the support or with the approval of the president, promotes senior police officers. And the higher you go, the tighter it becomes. When you hit the rank of chief superintendent, you should understand that from that level, you are entering into the commissioner level. And it's a very tight race. For instance, if you have about 200 superintendents, and then the assistant commissioner slots is about maybe 100, you can never get a wholesale promotion.
Yeah.
Because it is a pyramid. As you go up, it's becoming
It gets
closer.
narrower. Yeah.
So 200 chief superintendents have vying for 100 slots.
100 will be disappointed.
So 100 of you will likely get it, and the 100 of you will be stuck. And you can get as angry as you can. But the fact is that this is a pyramid. All of you cannot go up. Or else, I'm sure one day we would have gotten about 500 commissioners. But that is not possible. Some people retire on the way, some die on the way, some resign on the way, some have disciplinary issues on the way. So all these things reduces the numbers. But those who have gotten clean records, you are promoted based on performance.
What is the role of qualities like teamwork, leadership, seniority, honesty, how well officers work in their positions? Are these all critical factors in your promotion?
These are critical factors when it comes to assessing people for the next rank. You know, promoting you to the next rank is lifting you up into more challenging leadership positions. And the higher you go, your span of control increases. For instance, if you are a chief inspector will call them station. It means that you are a station officer. And if you are a station officer, minimum, you should be at least controlling not less than 10 people. So if you are controlling less than 10 people in a station, and sometimes in the bigger station, you have about 50 people under a chief inspector. So when you progress to the ASP level, you become a district commander. And under the district, you have about 2 or 3 police stations. So gradually, you are gaining experience. You used to control about 50 people, now you are controlling about 100 people, and gradually, one day when you become Inspector General of Police, your task will be to take care of about 40,000 people.
Which is the strength of our police service now.
Exactly, it's about 4,000 or so.
Okay.
So that is the strength of the police service, and that is the span of control of the Inspector General of Police now.
You were talking about 4 years at every post. Does that also occur at the senior levels? Beyond ASP, do you have to be in there for at least 4 years before you write for the exam to be promoted?
The minimum requirement is 4 years. But under very special conditions, for instance, if there is a vacancy, and I have always said that if we are respecting the structure well, you can actually go into the police for 20 years and you can become the Inspector General of Police. For instance, let me take you through. If you are an ASP, right from the university, you come in as an ASP at the age of 24, and every 4 years you are promoted. Let's assume that you are an ASP in 2 years, and there is a vacancy at the DSP level, and you happen to be the best at the ASP level, and you are promoted, taken away from your own mates to become DSP. If you are looking for the best in terms of integrity and quality, within 20 years, somebody can become a commissioner of police, not because his mates are all commissioners, but because it is seen that this is just a born leader. He has integrity, he has capacity, and when you progress like that, it is possible one day we could have an Inspector General of Police who is just 45 years old. But what we do now, you realize that Dr. George Akubu Dampare, for instance, had it not been the academic qualification that he got and he had to skip middle ranks, it is not possible to have an Inspector General of Police who is 50 years or 55 years. On many occasions, it's 56, 57, 58, sometimes even 59. Sometimes somebody is just about 3 months to go home, and he is the next in rank, and they give it to him. I'm sure we'll be looking at these things and we'll progress, so that one day it's possible to have a very young Inspector General of Police, 45 years, and he can work for long. But until then, it is just 4 years, sometimes less than 4 years, depending on the vacancy that is available and the need of the Ghana Police Service.
What are your personal thoughts about this case of these chief inspectors who have brought this case against the IGP? They say that their promotions are being delayed and they want some action to be taken. What are your personal views?
Thank you very much. They are right to go to court. I do not deny that. They have the right to go to court. But I think that there are internal mechanisms that you ought to exhaust. Going to the court should be the last resort. So I want to assume that this is their last resort. Probably they've done all that they could within. It wasn't working, so they have to go to court. But when you go to court, 2 questions. You are a chief inspector, and you talked about amnesty. Amnesty is not part of police structure. Amnesty was an ad hoc thing that was used by Mr. James Opombonu, then Inspector General of Police, to address a pertinent issue at the time. That was his choice. And if the amnesty was available, did you apply for it? Did you apply and you were denied?
What is an amnesty?
It wasn't going to be a perpetual thing that every year there will be an amnesty. No.
What's an amnesty, sir? In police terms. What is an amnesty? Right.
There were some people who had gone to do degrees or they've gone for higher education without approval from the police administration. We call them Galamsey certificates.
Okay.
Okay? you go to the university or you go and do your master's without approval from, you are enhancing your own knowledge. It's good. It helps you to perform. But they are saying that, why are you recruiting fresh graduates when you have graduates within the service? Can you do something about it? The pressure was so much that the then Inspector General of Police decided that, okay, let's see what we can do, some ad hoc decision to absorb some of them. So he granted amnesty for people who had gone to school without administrative approval. And many of them took advantage. And they were promoted. But even that, none of them was promoted with direct entry to the Ghana Police College, the Ghana Police Academy. They were promoted to hit the maximum of chief inspector. Those who were sergeants were promoted to inspector. Those who were inspector were promoted to chief inspector. But those who were chief inspectors, they were just added some lines to be able to hit the ceiling, the maximum of the chief inspector. But if you're already chief inspector maximum and you are going to do a degree, you get nothing. At the end of the day, all of you chief inspectors with degrees at the time, were asked to go and write the entry exam to the police academy. And they went and wrote. Some passed and some failed. So whether you fail at the time and you are still here, or you never got the opportunity, or you never took advantage of the amnesty that was granted, and you are now a chief inspector or inspector with a degree, I don't know whether you'll be forcing the IGP to bring another amnesty. I don't think so. But they are in court. Let's allow them to thrash it out there, and I don't know what it is, but we'll hear the ruling, and all of us, as law-abiding citizens, I'm very sure that the police administration is the police administration. The police service is actually the cohesive arm of government.
Right.
And I know that the Attorney General is involved in this. When the ruling comes, I'm sure the police administration will do the needful.
Is there anything else you want to add to this conversation before I let you go, Honorable Tubu?
I just want people to appreciate the fact that the police service is a very structured organization. It's a pyramid. And the higher you go, the tighter it becomes. Whatever you want, if there are no vacancies available, you will never be promoted. I also want to give a word of advice to the police administration. Policing, the rank is so important. You can recommend somebody to go to the United Nations and serve, as I've done several times. You can do so many things to people, motivate them. But if the rank is not there, it is rank that brings command and control. So if somebody is qualified, probably 2 people are qualified to go to the police academy, or they are qualified to go and write the exams. I have gone to write the exams. I have failed. And the person who is probably even working under me, let's assume I'm a station officer, chief inspector. There is an inspector working under me. I have gone to write the exam to the police academy. I have failed. The inspector who is working under me, I have not recommended him. My district commander hasn't recommended him. And all of a sudden, he's been picked for whatever reason to go to the college and come back as a senior officer. That senior officer can never come back to that same place to become my boss.
Exactly.
It creates bitterness. And that is why I pray that there should be some transparency in promotion. It's a public service. Let everybody know that the vacancies available this year for maybe DSP, there are 45 vacancies. And if there are 100, all of you can never be promoted and blocked. So we'll pick the best according to the assessment criteria and promote the 45. The next time, if there's vacancy, we'll promote you.
All right.
Promotion is based on vacancies. And all of us should remain disciplined. Without a clean record, you can wear one rank for many years. And sometimes, because of certain administrative issues, I wore my sergeant rank for 9 years without any disciplinary action. I could have gotten angry and gone to court. But I didn't. And you know what? Before I go, I approached the Deputy Commissioner of Police at the time, who was Director General Welfare, and complained bitterly about why I was wearing a sergeant rank for 9 years. I was so sad with the response. He said, my son, I have been wearing my rank as the Deputy Commissioner for 12 years. If there is any way you can get help, please do help your father as well. And that's how I wept and walked out of his office. It is not an easy journey.
Thank you so much. We'll leave you right here. The Honorable Peter Lanchani Tobo, MP for Wa West, and a former senior police officer, giving us some education about how police officers are promoted in Ghana. #GTV Breakfast. My name is Kafui Day. My guests are here, Norman Tete.